Welcome back, guys, to Bawdy and Funny. Today's guest, Jordy Mitchell, who is a Melbourne comic. Jordy is the room runner of Death and Glory Comedy Club, Comedy Room.
Yeah, Comedy Room.
In Melbourne. Whereabouts in Melbourne's that?
Chapel Street.
Chapel Street.
Which is about 10 minutes, 15 minutes out of the city.
Alright. When you're only young, like you're only 30, eh?
Yeah, 30, yeah.
Mate, how long you been in comedy?
It'd be coming up 3 years, but if you give or take the however fucking long this isolation shit is going to happen, because no one's doing anything apart from stuff like this, which I'm very grateful for. So thanks for having me on.
But, no worries, mate. Thanks for being on.
No, dude, anytime. 3 years in September.
How long you been running the room?
Oh fuck, we would have clocked over a year after Comedy Fest time. I took over just after Comedy Festival last year.
And you're pretty busy too, because I talked to you once about coming in there and you said, oh mate, you've got to be a book about a month in front.
Yeah, it's nuts. I didn't know what to expect in terms of running a room, because I'd never really done it. Sorry, the cats are distracting me. I'd never really run a proper room before. I'd only helped friends with theirs and so forth. And the room that I was running beforehand, I basically ran it as an open mic, so whoever came in got on. Whereas this one, I'm trying to make it that midway point between open mic room and, you know, like the big guns like your Comics Lounge and whatever you guys have got up there.
Yeah. We got nothing up here, mate. I'm up on the mid-north coast of New South Wales in a tiny little town.
Oh no shit. Okay, sorry. I can't even think of a New South Wales, because I haven't really toured with this yet. So
yeah.
I don't really know. I've done Tassie before. That was about it. But yeah, I want to be that midway point between an open mic and the big shebang sort of Comics Lounge type deal.
How many comedians do you reckon you've hosted?
4. I am really shit at estimating, let alone knowing what day it is. But I would have to say probably borderline on 60 or 80, I think. So. I've got the regular people who come through, and it's really important to have an arsenal, so to speak, of people you can rely on. So, you know, if someone bails and it's like you call up this person, it's like, yeah, I need you to fill in or whatever. And you have your staples, but I also love getting new people through, and then people who I've never met before. So, you know, you overseas folk or interstate, and I've got some people who I really listen to. So if someone says, you know, you need to book blah 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 blah, give them a spot. 9 times out of 10, they are well worth the recommendation. So I'm quite fortunate to be in that position where I've got some friends who act as ears and eyes for other acts, because I don't tour, so I don't meet many people. But yeah.
How'd you get into it? How'd you get into the comedy?
Absolute boredom is probably the best way to put it. But actually, a mixture of two things. I was finishing my mechanics apprenticeship, and the place I was working at, it was a small 5-man operation, and there was no music, there was no banter, there was no talking. The hour lunch breaks we had, they talked about nothing but work, and that just did my head in. I actually found myself in quite a depressing situation of, you know, I don't want to be here, but I need to get my papers signed, blah blah blah. And the foreman, who was the man with the magic signature to sign me off, was an absolute prick and fucking hated me. So like, it was the worst job. But I found myself in a interesting situation of some really shitty dates, and I told a buddy of mine like this story once, and I was like, dude, I need some sort of a not a kissing and telling sort of way, like I'm a gentleman, but like this happened to me last night. I can't get my head around it. Is this normal or am I the crazy one sort of thing?
Yeah.
You know, like that fucking story that you always whip out at parties because, you know, it's just too good to be true sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
But this happened. I told my best mate, and then unfortunately another story kicked out. And before I knew it, I was explaining these stories at parties, like birthdays and shit. And I had a stand-up thing before I realised I had one. And then a friend booked me into an open mic night, and that was it. Absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I better mention the club, Death of Glory.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
Death of
didn't
Glory
start
Comedy
with it,
Club in
obviously.
Melbourne. Should be reopening in about, 5 months, 3 months if we're lucky.
Fuck, man, I hope so. I'm going fucking mental. Like, I'm stuck with my housemates at the moment, and they're fucking lovely. This is Turkish, but I've got 3 cats. They're starting to talk to me. I've had an absolute mental blank of trying to write material, but
Yeah.
I just miss gigs, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely miss gigs.
Do you remember the first joke you ever told on stage?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the first few jokes or bits I had derived from these really shitty dating experiences that I had, and that was kind of all I had until I wrote, like started writing jokes, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about finding myself in a situation that I didn't really want to be in, and ended up fisting a girl, which I don't recommend.
Well, it's official. This episode is definitely not for kids. Yeah.
No, I don't ever working with children's check. Fuck no. No. So that was a night that just escalated, and I needed a reality check from a friend, just being like, "Is this normal? How common's fisting? I've got no idea. Like, this is the first I'd heard of it. So what the fuck is this?" So I did that.
Well,
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. However you party's how you party. I don't give a fuck what your creed is, where you're from, what your sexuality is, whatever. Like, we're all people, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
Me neither. Either end. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. We're getting somewhere.
Mate,
I'm loving that.
who's
I'm loving
your
that hat,
favourite?
by the way.
Yeah.
I'm loving that hat, by the way. That's fucking brilliant.
Oh, the helmet?
Yeah.
Well, I figure this, mate, because I'm a dinosaur. That the way this year's going, there's a fucking meteor's going to hit any day now. Probably day 89 of our 90-day lockdown.
And you know what? It won't even be surprising. People just like, oh yeah, that's a fucking meteor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's like that. I watched that fucking Tiger King last night.
Oh, how good.
But that's the thing. So a chick getting her arm ripped off is not the main subject. In fact, they just sort of brush over it and just keep going. That's how bad the rest of the story is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she got her arm.
Her hand in the tiger cages. Yeah, that's it. That's ridiculous. Fucking nuts.
And I'm sort of guessing there's not going to be a sequel either.
No. I don't know how much you can trust on Facebook because it's Facebook, but a friend put a link up to some article from the States saying that there's a part 2 coming out. or at least another episode, another 1 or 2 episodes. It must be a catch-up or something, I'm not sure. But
Tiger King encaged.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
And then, if he lives long enough, Tiger King uncaged.
This is my story. Yeah, no, who knows, man. Fucking,
Is Carol dead yet?
yeah, fuck, man. I wonder if she's been to visit him. That'd be interesting.
Oh, come on, Tiger King. You've got a visitor.
I wonder. Oh fuck, Americans are nuts, dude.
Oh, send him a message on Facebook, man. We're all in this together.
Except for you, you're in a cage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're not in this. We're over here together, and you're in there.
Yeah, fuck. Man, it's enough upkeep having three cats, and they're like normal size. One of them's a bit chunky, but like I can't imagine having a tiger.
Yeah. What do you have? 180, 182 tigers or something.
Something like that, yeah. Fucking nuts.
That's a lot of cat shit to clean up, man. That's a
Yeah.
big litter box. That one.
Just just the bills, man. Like my cats eat better than I do. Like I feed them much better food by comparison. But like fuck dude, it's nuts. It's just fucking nuts. Americans are crazy. Like, do we have anyone here like that?
Warwick Kappa.
Oh yeah, fair. He doesn't have tigers, does he?
Probably. I'm pretty sure I've seen a picture of him with a snow tiger or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me, man. Remember
Oh,
this?
he's got
This is the dude that went on 60 Minutes and referred to his bed as the workbench.
Oh. See, if that was a porn star, you'd think, yeah, that's fucking clever, but because it's him, it's just creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, who's your favourite comic?
Um, I kind of go through stages,
Yeah,
as I do, as you know, some people do with music and stuff. Like, but I think if I had to settle on one, it would be Bill Burr.
oh, I love Bill Burr. Yeah,
He's incredible. I just love it how he can start a sentence and you think, oh fuck. Even as a fan of comedy, you think, oh fuck, where's he going with this? You can't say that, or you can't do that. You can't.
yeah.
That's that topic, but then he throws everything out and then he brings you back, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I get what you mean, and it's fucking hilarious. But when I was a kid, like I found my older stepbrother's mixtape of well, that makes me sound old. Burnt CD, sorry. And for any kids watching, there was a time where you could buy a blank CD and you could put whatever the fuck you wanted on it. I found my older brother's mix CD of Rodney Roode and Billy Conway.
Hey,
And,
dude. Well, this is how old I am. I was at Rodney Roode's first concert at the Theatre Royale in Sydney when he first put out his first album.
Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something to be proud of.
Oh, it was so funny because like we're all sitting down, getting ready for the show to start, and somebody yelled out, "Hey, Usher!" And it just cracked up the whole audience, you know. And he's such a nat.
Get over here.
And
Yeah.
then later on in life, I met a dude that grew up with him and said, "Nah, he's like that all the time. He's
Oh,
one of the
wow.
most annoying people or the funniest person. Apparently, he drives people to drink. If you were his friend and you didn't drink before, you will be drinking a year afterwards because you have to be to like
Oh,
hang around
wow.
him for a while."
I mean, some of his shit, like, as a 12 or 13-year-old, like, everything was fucking hilarious. Like, I knew that, okay, that's racist, or that's just wrong, or whatever. But
Yeah.
I had a little listen to it, well, whatever I could find on YouTube as, oh, fuck, I put my phone on silent. Sorry, bro. One sec. As a 30-year-old comic, listening to it now, a lot of it's like, oh fuck, there is no way you could possibly say that. So you have to take it with a grain of salt and be like, okay, it was the 80s, it was the 90s. Doesn't mean it was right,
Yeah.
but it was just a different time. But that was definitely an eye-opening thing because I only really listened to music before that, and then I heard Billy Conley and Rodney Roode, and I was like, well, fuck, what is this? You can make people laugh by telling jokes. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
make people laugh, but I didn't know you could make people laugh, if that makes any sense. And then, I went through, we were like Steve Hughes, and then, I went through, 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 discovered him in high school. Fucking hilarious, massive Aussie comic who mainly does Europe now, England. And then a buddy of mine showed me Dave Chappelle's "Killing Him Softly." The DVD of that, and that was like I never wanted to be a comic until like I actually got on stage as a comic. I always wanted to be a rock star. I always wanted to do music, sort of shit. Until I did the open mic, and then that kind of changed perspective of things. But yeah, I just remember listening to Dave Chappelle. I was like, holy fuck! Like he just takes like seemingly mundane, everyday shit and then just puts his spin on it, and it's fucking hilarious. Like he's an absolute master of stories, and I love storytelling. Like I appreciate a clever one-liner.
Yeah.
But I can't sit there like some people I'm friends with and watch someone like I'm not hanging shit on them, that's their style, but you know, like an Anthony Jeselnik or I can't think of another one-liner comic now I'm talking about it, but I need a story. I need to be immersed. I need to be along the journey with you. And then come out the other end with a laugh. Like I can't just go, one-liner for an hour. That does my head in. But yeah, Bill Burr. And Patrice O'Neill. Fuck man, he's ruthless on another level. Like it's like Dave Chappelle on steroids. Like takes similar kind of subjects, but then just amps them up to like I've sat with people watching Dave Chappelle like, oh my god, he's fucked. I was like, no, wait till you see Patrice O'Neill, he's even worse. Like, he still makes you laugh. But yeah, Bill Burr and like Ricky Gervais. I can't pronounce the name without getting a stutter, but Eliza Schlesinger.
All right.
I can't say it. American comic. She's fucking brilliant. Very funny. Catherine Ryan. Heaps of people really. And Frankie Boyle. The way he handles a crowd.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
What is your honest opinion of hecklers?
I love them.
You love hecklers?
I love them. Yeah. I don't like. Probably makes me sound like a shit comic if I get heckled a lot. I don't get heckled very much. I did at the start when I was finding my feet. I'm still finding my feet. We're all learning. We're all still trying to find ourselves. Otherwise, we'd be on Netflix, right? But I hate repeating myself. Basically, like I would have worked this joke out. It worked in this room. It worked in that room. If I can nail a joke in 3 rooms, I'm rounding it up. But
yeah.
If I can nail this joke in 3 different rooms, then that to me is a keeper. And it's a successful joke that I can, put in the vault for another day, kind of thing. Keep it up my sleeve, so to speak. Other than that, I hate repeating myself. Like I have material that I like to keep up my sleeve, stuff I'm working on that I think, okay, this has worked out enough. I can drop this kind of thing. But taking control of the situation with a heckler, that's like. This is brilliant. This is off the cuff shit. Like it makes you think harder. You get to be an asshole and get paid for it.
Yeah, I especially love Steve Hofstetter.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Just pulls them apart piece by piece and destroys them.
Yeah, him and Frankie Boyle and Bill Burr when it comes to hecklers, he's incredible. But like, I especially running a room. Or jumping on as a guest MC or whatever, or in another room, and you see like someone who might not be having a good gig. Like you got 10 comics on a gig, one of them's not going to have a good gig. That's just
that sort of brings me to my next question. Have you bombed?
Oh fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't trust any comic who says, no, I don't bomb. I bombed once and never again. No, fuck off, mate. Yes, you have. Or either no one told you that you bombed because they're scared of hurting your feelings, or they don't respect you enough to tell you that you bombed, or you don't have the ears and eyes open enough to realise, hey, I fucked up.
No one's laughing, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it. All these 3 people in the front row were laughing, but everyone else was bored shitless.
Well, I don't really give a shit if you bomb, because I see it it's actually part of the show. So if there's one comedian in the middle that's really quiet, the next one will probably get more laughs. And sometimes you bomb for the dumbest reasons. I saw a show in Sydney, and it was this Canadian lady came out, and it wasn't that she wasn't funny, but she had them. Have you ever seen like the Canadian mounted police pants, or like the old police pants that used to go out wide like this?
Yeah, the Mounties. Yeah.
And just everybody was sitting there, just thinking, what the fuck is she wearing? And it wasn't that she wasn't funny. It's they just could not get over that one fact. What the fuck is she wearing?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all part of the show. It'll happen.
No, I completely agree, and I think it's healthy how you go about it. It's like an argument in a couple, right? It's healthy to have an argument, but it's how you go about it, right? You can't like as soon as abuse comes into it, then that's hold on.
Yeah.
So I've seen many people do it, and I would like to think I've never said this, and I honestly, hand on my heart, don't think I have, but otherwise I'll look a right dickhead here, but I've seen people bomb or, not quite hit the mark where they were hoping it to hit on that joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and say, what's wrong with you? That's a great joke. Why aren't you laughing? So what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's like, don't blame the fucking audience because you didn't write this out, or you didn't rehearse, or you didn't fucking try this out in another room previous. You can't blame the crowd unless they're being absolute cunts in the way of, they're all on their phones, they're all chit-chatting, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, like, you need to get their attention. And every act needs to get attention. Like, the MC can do his bit or her bit, but you need to continue getting their attention. Like, if you lose the attention after the MC's built it up, that's your fucking problem.
That's it, yeah.
But that comes back to hecklers. Like, I love it when, you jump up after someone, whether they had a good set or not, and there's someone who thinks they're so self-righteous that they can just, you're shit, or, just throwing the most mundane fucking comments.
Yeah.
Get up there and fucking destroy them. I love it. Absolutely love it.
So now you're doing, at the moment, while you're not so busy, you're still doing the BJ Ballsout comedy podcast.
Yes.
On SoundCloud. Check it out. It's quite funny.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, I listened to a few of them yesterday. That's with your partner, Benny. What's his last name? Benny Alphabet. Benny...
fuck, buy me a vowel. Fucking hell. He's Eastern European, so imagine it. He's Montenegrin, so I think it's pronounced Abizovic.
Abizovic. Sorry, Benny, if you're listening, because I'm hoping to interview you too, mate.
No, he's a cunt. Fuck him. No, he'll be right. But no, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Abizovic. He says it every now and again, but it's one of those words I look at. I'm like, that doesn't look right. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got a mate in Canberra. I had to ask him, mate, are you sure you're pronouncing it right?
Yeah, it's been in the family for years, mate. Yeah.
And what you're up to about your 10th episode there?
I think we've got another one or two coming out in the next few days. But yeah, we're up to about number 10 or 11. Yeah.
Awesome.
Started about 2 months ago, I think. It could be 3, it could be 4. I don't know. I've got a really bad sense of time and date, but
yeah, we're all like that a bit lately.
Oh man, I don't know what fucking day it is. I've got no idea.
That's the first thing I look at on my phone in the morning.
Just need some clarity. What day is it?
I look at my phone, see what day it is, see the first news story, and then panic about it for the rest of the day until tomorrow.
Fuck that. That's no way to live, babe.
Oh no, we got ships, man. There's still ships waiting to dock here,
Oh, so are you close to that?
Hey, no, that's in Western Australia, but
right.
still the same landmass.
Yeah.
That's too close for me, anyway.
Yeah, true. Fuck that. Just keep them at sea. Fuck them. That's what you get. That's what you get for going on a cruise. It's like a holiday that backfired. Just
hey, they're real cheap right now.
I can imagine. I can fucking imagine.
I was going to buy one for my ex.
Quick, edit that shit out in case you get like a Carol Baskin situation. Fucking hell. Don't want to get done for that. But no, the podcast with Benny's so far so good. I've never done a podcast. He asked me out of the blue actually if I wanted to do something. He'd spoken to a few comics previous about doing something with him, and no one really came through.
Yeah.
He told me the general gist of it, and the idea is we wanted to kind of build a sense of community, not just in Melbourne, but we want to get, once we get a bit more established, we want to get some internationals and some interstate comics and stuff. But we basically wanted to build a profile on comics.
I'm guessing you were hoping for a few interviews over the festival.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I was more hoping the festival would go ahead because I had something planned at my room, but we had to close that shit up. But yeah, but shit happens. Yeah.
The snap, I call it the snap.
Oh yeah, fuck, everything just.
All our careers just disappeared.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, having said that, like, if I was to get someone teed up a phone call with Bill Burr tomorrow,
yeah,
I'd be too scared to do it. Like, I'm not ready for that. You know what I mean? Like, I want to interview people at my level and help boost them a bit. Like, get a profile on them, and it actually really sucks that shows aren't going on for many reasons. I know there's a bigger problem at hand and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to sound like a whingy little cunt, but the podcast is starting to get momentum, which we're really happy about. But it sucks in a way that we get, this person, that person on, and we can't promote anything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you enjoyed this chat, check him out.
On Facebook or YouTube, yeah.
Oh, not even that. Just like check him out this Friday at blah blah blah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because Benny's quite quick with editing and getting the turnaround happening. But yeah, because I'm useless at that shit, so I'm quite lucky I've got Benny. Sorry.
Mate, tell us about the cooking.
I love cooking. I lost the love of cooking. I used to be an apprentice chef when I was much younger. I was like 18 to 20. I had one of those pricks who thought he was the next Gordon Ramsay. As a head chef, throwing pans and insults and all that sort of stuff, and just lost the love for it. But I've still enjoyed cooking, but honestly, that came out of pure boredom. I thought, if I'm getting sick of watching TV, and this has only been a week, what about the people who've been off work earlier? And in all honesty, I've always wanted a cooking show. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted my own cooking show. And now you can, live stream shit, which I didn't know you could do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thought, fuck it, I'll start my own cooking show. So I called it Apocalypse Cooking with Jordy. And the whole idea was
on
cooking
Facebook?
Anything that was...
Facebook?
No. No, if you want to look up my Facebook profile, it's on there. I haven't done a page for it because that's all the world needs is another fucking page.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's public. So if you just look up Jordy Mitchell, it'll be there somewhere. But I'm really not good at plugging myself, to be honest.
I've watched a couple of them, except there's only one thing that turns me off is that the kitchen's too clean. And just as soon as I start watching it, the guilt sets in, and fuck this guy.
Okay, bro, hang on.
A single male in a kitchen, and it's clean. Is there something you want to tell us? Is there something we need to know?
Yeah, this will make you feel better, alright? It's an illusion. So I moved into this place 4 months ago. That first cooking video I did was the second time I cooked in this place. That's why it's so fucking clean. It's not me. It's
that's why it's clean. It was just inspected a week before.
Yeah. Basically, actually, I had my house inspection 2 days ago. That's why. Yeah.
Mate, what would you say is your career highlight?
Career highlight. Career highlight. I think it was the point where I realised I think I can do this, if that makes sense, and I'll explain. So I've been doing comedy for about a year at that point, and I'd only done I think my longest spot was 7 minutes, I think, and it was all open mics. I'd gotten my name on a few posters. And like that was cool. Getting my name on a poster for the first time, I was like, "Fuck yeah! All right, I'm an actual. I feel like a comic now. This is awesome." Like that took me back to band days. We'd see your name in lights and shit. And I accidentally talked myself up. I hope you know me well enough that I think very little of myself, but I accidentally talked myself up to this promoter in Ballarat, and he ended up giving me a headline spot. I was like, "Oh fuck!" So that jump from 7 minutes to half an hour is quite scary, but I ended up going there, took a good friend with me, she opened for me. It was my first headlining show, and the room was just fucked, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, I don't know if you guys have this thing where you are, but or Sydney, for example, like in Melbourne, you're lucky if half the room is made up of punters. Usually it's 70-80% comics, which there's nothing wrong with that, but trying to get a comic to laugh is like cooking for your mate who's a Michelin chef. Like, he's going to be dissecting fucking everything.
Yeah.
He might enjoy it, but he probably doesn't enjoy it,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Whereas this night in Ballarat, which is about 2 hours out of Melbourne, little country town, there was about 40, 45 people, and there were 5 other comics. All the comics were sitting at the side of the room, just having a beer, having a beer, eating pizza, enjoying themselves, and everyone else was a punter. And some of the shit that some of the shit I did that I had done in open mic rooms fucking killed. The stuff that I knew worked well worked even better than expected. I don't mean that in a dickhead way, that's just how it felt. And I walked off stage thinking, fuck, I could actually do this. And that was a massive highlight. So I guess, like, just because you do a room where it's full of comics and something doesn't land doesn't mean it's a shit joke. You've just got the wrong audience. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight, and and honestly, that was the most drunk I've ever been on stage. But I was filmed, and I can hear the laughter back, so I know I did all right here and there. So it wasn't all in my head, but that's where I learned I can't drink more than six drinks before going on, which is a very important curb to get over. But I've been chasing that high ever since.
Right, we've actually gone over time. I'm going to give you the last word. No, you're right. I'm actually going to give you the last word in a sec. I'm going to ask you what your favourite joke is. To tell me your favourite joke. But just before that, just reminding that if you like this video, please hit that red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. You'll be able to find Jordy Mitchell. Hopefully Death or Glory Comedy Club will be coming back on. Jump on YouTube and watch the Battle Royales, with especially where you destroy Gavin, our old mate Gavin Mad Dog Sample. Only thing though, when the host grabs the microphone, hit mute until he puts it down or hands it off.
Harsh but fair.
And also BJ Balls Out Comedy Podcast, which you get on SoundCloud. It's free, very funny. Jordy Mitchell, thank you so much for joining me. And before you go, what's your favourite joke? Favourite all-time joke? Doesn't have to be yours. Something you've heard. The best joke ever.
Okay, this is a joke my uncle, who sadly passed about 10 years ago, told me when I was about 8.
What was his name?
And Wes.
Uncle Wes.
It's Uncle Wes, yeah. I miss him dearly, but it stuck with me ever since and probably explains a lot. So I heard this when I was 8, right? Dave, what does a man with a 12-inch dick have for breakfast?
I don't know what.
Well, this morning I had bacon and eggs and a cigarette. Yeah, it's so fucking simple, but that stuck with me since I was 8.
They're my favourite. They're my favourite. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jordy Mitchell. Stay safe, share your blessings, and talk to you soon. Thanks,
Thank you
mate.
very much, Dave. Appreciate it, bro.